I'm now reading lesson number 91. Rewrite your life story. One of the most wonderful things about time is the fact that you cannot waste it in advance. No matter how much time you have squandered in the past, the next hour that comes your way will be perfect, unspoiled, and ready for you to make the very best out of it. No matter what has happened to you in the past, your future is spotless. Realize that every dawn brings with it the corresponding opportunity to begin in a completely new life. If you so choose, tomorrow can be the day that you start getting up earlier, reading more, exercise, eating well, and worrying less. As author has observed, at any moment I could start being more of the person I dream to be. But which moment should I choose? No one is stopping you from opening your journal and, on a blank page, rewriting the story of your life. This very minute, you can decide the way you would like it to unfold, change the central characters, and create a new ending. The only question is, will you choose to do so? Remember, it is never too late to become the person you have always wanted to be. Lesson number 92. Plant a tree. According to ancient Eastern thinking, to live a fulfilling life, you must do three things: have a son, write a book, and plant a tree. By doing so, the thinking goes that you will have three legacies that will live a long life after you die. While there are clearly many more elements to a happy and complete life, I would add the joy of having a daughter to the list. The idea of planting a tree is an excellent one. Watching a tree grow from a sapling into a tall oak will keep you connected with the daily passage of time and the cycles of nature. Just as the tree grows and matures, so too will so too will you be able to mark your personal passages and growth as a human being. If you have a if you have children, you might also wish to plant a tree in honor of each of them. As they grow, you can carve notches on the trunk and mark their different ages. Each tree then becomes a living record of the different life stage. Planting a tree for each child in your family is a wonderful and creative act of love, and one that your kids will remember for many more years to come. Lesson number 93. Find your place of peace. Everyone needs a sanctuary or a place of peace where they can go to be quiet and still. This special place will serve as your oasis in a world of stress. It will be a spot where you can take refuge from the crush of daily activities that demand your time, energy, and attention. Your sanctuary does not need to be fancy. An unused bedroom or a corner of an apartment with some freshly cut flowers on the table will do the work nicely. Even a wooden bench in your favorite park can serve as a place of peace. When you feel you need some time alone, visit the sanctuary and do some of your those inner development activities that are so easy to neglect during the course of a busy day. Write in your journal or listen to a soothing piece of classical music. Close your eyes and visualize your ideal day. Read deeply from the book of your mother, from the book your mother always told you to read, or from the book of wisdom, or simply do nothing for 30 minutes and let the renewing power of your solitude take hold. Carving out a little time for yourself is not a selfish act. Replenishing your inner reserves always allows you to give more, do more, and be more for others. Making time to care for your mind and spirit will keep you balanced, enthusiastic, and youthful. And as Philan, an author, once said, youth is not a time of life, it is a state of mind. People grow old only by deserting their ideas and by outgrowing the consciousness of youth. Years wrinkle the skin, but to give up enthusiasm wrinkles the soul. You are as old as your doubt. You fear, you despair. The way to keep young is to keep your faith young. Keep your self confidence young. Keep your hope young. Lesson number 94. Take more pictures. Every life is worth living. And given this, every life is worth recording. So often, a friend will tell me about a breathtaking sight on a recent vacation or something hilarious his child did at the Christmas concert or someone famous he has met. Did you get it on film? I ask. I love to see the photo. Next time comes the reply. I didn't have the time to pick up a new role. But let me try and describe what's happened to you. A picture is truly worth 1,000 words. Photographs capture and record life's greatest memories so that we can relive them as years go by. As I grew up, my father constantly took pictures of our family. Whether it was a family picnic or first time I took his car out for a spin or a simple gathering with friends, he was there taking pictures. Often, while he asked us to smile for the camera, I would grow impatient and gently ask him to take a photo quickly. You don't need to take so many photos, that I would say. What are we going to do with them all? Well, now, as the years have quietly slipped past, I know that what to do with all those photos. They have gone into albums that form the part of the life's passage. They provide my own children with endless hours of amusement and offer our entire family a wonderful way to reflect on the simple things that have meant so much to us. Take more pictures, record the best time of your life, collect photographs of the things that have made you smile or cry or appreciate the many blessings this world provides. Always carry a disposable camera in your car and two in your luggage when you travel. Or nowadays we can carry a smartphone that usually has cameras that we can utilize and capture the beautiful moments in our lives. You might be surprised how good you will feel when you go through the album that you have captured in your past. Lesson number 95. Be an adventurer. Teachers are climbing mountains. Entrepreneurs are flying hot air balloons. Grandmothers are completing marathons. And homemakers are taking up karate. The more routine our lives become, the greater our need to fill them with some real adventures. The more obligations that beg for our attention, the more important it becomes to shed those shackles of contemplacy and send our hearts soaring through some brave new pursuits. A man must not allow the clock and the calendar to blind him to the fact that each moment of his life is a miracle and a mystery, wrote British novelist H.G. Wells. To connect more deeply to the miracles and the mysteries of your own life, vow to restore the spirit of adventure that once knew as a child. Make a list of 12 pursuits you know would bring to the greatest sense of passion and energy to the normally mundane routine and tackle one of them every month for the next year. Doing so is a highly effective way to reinvent the way you live. Lesson number 96: decompress before you go home. After a day of stress and pressure at the office, most of us arrive home cranky, tired, and dispirited. We gave the best we had to the colleagues and customer, and sadly, we have nothing left for the people we love the most: our spouses, children, and friends. Like gladiators, we have just completed the battle of their lives. Who have just completed the battle of their lives. We wearily walk from our favorite easy chair and order family members to leave us alone until we regain our composure. Taking 10 minutes to decompress before you walk through the front door of your home will help you to avoid making this scenario a part of your daily routine. Rather than leaving work, driving home, and rushing into your house, I recommend that you spend a few minutes sitting alone in your car while parked in the driveway. Use this time to relax and reflect on what you would like to accomplish during the next few hours with your family. Remind yourself how much your partner and your children need you, and how much fun things you can do if you simply put your mind to it. To further decompress, you could go for a quick walk around the block or listen to your favorite piece of classical music before you open the door and greet your family. Be creative about your personal decompression time and treat it as a chance to renew and recharge so that you are the person your family wants when you come to greet them. Lesson number 97: respect your instincts. It is not easy to listen to what the Quakers call the still and small voice within, the inner guide that is your personal source of wisdom. It is often difficult to march to your own drumbeat and listen to your instincts when the world around you pressurizes you to conform to its dic- dictates. Yet, to find the fulfillment and abundance you seek, you must listen to those hunches and feelings that come to you when you most need them. As I grow older, I give far greater respect to my instincts and to the natural reservoir of inst- intuition that slumbers within each one of us. The impressions I receive when I first met a new person, or that inner sense of wisdom that softly nudges me in the right direction during a trying time, have come to play a larger part in the way I work and live. It seems that with age comes the corresponding ability to trust your own instincts. I have also found that my personal instincts grow stronger when I am living on purpose. That is to say, spending my days on activities that advance me along the path to my legacy. When you are doing the right things and live the way nature intended you to live, your abilities you were not aware you had become engaged, and you liberate the fullness of the person you really are. As the Indian philosopher Patanjali wrote, when you are inspired by some great purpose, some extraordinary project, all of your thoughts break their bonds. Your mind transcends limitations, your consciousness expands in every direction, and you find yourself in a new, great, and wonderful way. New, great, and wonderful world. Dormant forces, faculties, and talents become alive, and you discover yourself to be a great person by far that you ever deemed yourself to be. Lesson number 98: collect quotes that inspire you. If you have read The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari or any of my other books, you know that I love using quotations from the world's greatest thinkers. I never knew why I loved these so much as I do until one of my mentors, after after reading a manuscript I had written, said, "You love quotations for the same reason I do, Robin. A great quote contains a wealth of wisdom in a single line. So often in my readings, I come across just the right quote, which contains the ideal answer to the challenge I am facing." And my mentor was right. The value of a great quote does lie in the fact that it contains a world of wisdom. Wisdom that may have taken the author many years to arrive in a line or two. Over the next few weeks, start your own collection of quotations, words that you can keep referring to when you need some instant inspiration or advice about how to deal with those curves of life that life sometimes sends our way. Another effective way that I use quotation is to paste them in the places I know that I will see throughout the day, such as in my bathroom mirror, on my refrigerator door, on the dashboard of my car, or throughout my office. A simple discipline keeps me focused on what's essential during the busy times, positive during tiring times, and centered on the principles of real success. On my personal computers, I have now collected hundreds of quotations from great leaders, thinkers, poets, and philosophers on subjects such as how to deal with adversity, the meaning of life, and the value of self improvement and improving, the importance of helping others, the power of our thoughts, and the need of a strong character. Lesson number 99: love your work. One of the timeless secret to a long happy life is to love your work. The golden thread running through the lives of history's most satisfied people is that they all loved what they did for living. When psychologist Vera John Steiner interviewed 100 creative people, she found that one thing in common: an intense passion for their work. Spending your days doing the work that you find rewarding, intellectually challenging, and fun to do more than all these spa vacations in the world to keep your spirits high and your heart engaged is the best thing you can do to yourself. Thomas Edison, a man who recorded 1093 patents in his lifetime, ranging from the photographs, the indecent light bulb, and the microphone to the movies, had this to say about his brilliant career at the end of his life: "I never did a day's work in my life. It was all fun," said Thomas Edison. When you love your job, you discover you will never have another day in your life where you will be working. Your work will be a play, and the hours will slip away as quickly as they came. As novelist James wrote, "The master in the art of living makes little distinction between his work and his play, his labor and his leisure, his mind and his body, his information and his recreation, his life and his religion. He hardly knows which is which. He simply pursues his vision of excellence at whatever he does, leaving others to decide whether he is working or playing. To him, he is always doing both. Lesson number 100: Selflessly serve. Albert Schweitzer said, there is no higher religion than human service. To work for the common good is the greatest creed. And the ancient Chinese believer that a little fragrance and the ancient Chinese believed that a little fragrance always cling to the hand that gives you roses. One of the greatest lessons of a highly fulfilling life is to rise from the lives spent that spent chasing success to the one dedicated to finding significance. And the best way to create significance is to ask yourself a simple question: how may I serve? All the greatest leaders, thinkers, and humanitarians have abandoned selfish lives for selfless lives, and in doing so, found all the happiness, abundance, and satisfaction that they deserved. They have all understood that all important truth of humanity. You cannot pursue success. Success ensures it flows as the unintended but inevitably byproduct of a living spent serving people and adding values to the world. Mahatma Gandhi understood that service ethic better than the most. In one memorable story of his life, he was traveling across India by train. As he left the car he had been riding in, one of his shoes fell to a place on the tracks well beyond his reach. Rather than worrying about getting it back, he did something that startled his traveling companions. He removed the other shoe and threw it to where the first one rested. When asked why he did this, Gandhi smiled and replied, now the poor soul who finds the first one will have a pair he can wear. Lesson number 101: Live life, live fully so you can die happily. Most people don't discover what life is all about until just before they die. While we are young, we spend our days striving and keeping up with the social expectations. We are so busy chasing life's big pleasures that we miss out on the little ones, like dancing barefoot in the park on a rainy day with our kids, or planting a rose in a garden, or watching the sun come up. We live in an age where we have conquered the highest of the mountains, but have yet to master our own selves. We have taller buildings but shorter tempers, have more possessions but less happiness, fuller mind but empty lives. Do not wait until you are on your deathbed to realize the meaning of life and the precious role you have to play within it. All too often, people attempt to live their lives backwards. They spend their days striving to get the things that will make them happy, rather than having the wisdom to realize that happiness is not a place where you reach but a state that you can create. Happiness and a life of deep fulfillment comes when you commit to yourself. From the from the very core of your own soul to spending your highest human talents on a purpose that makes a difference in lives of others. When all the clutter is stripped away from your life, its true meaning will become clear. To live for something more than yourself. Stated simply, the purpose of life is a life of purpose. As this is the last of your life's lesson, it is my privilege to share with you in this book. I wish you a great life filled with wisdom, happiness, and fulfillment. May your days be spent in a work that is engaging, on pursuits that are inspiring, and with the people who are loving. I'd like to leave you with the following words of George Shaw, which capture the essence of the final lessons far better than I could ever imagine. This is true joy in life, being used for a purpose, recognized by yourself as a mighty one, being a true force of nature instead of a favorite little clot of ailments and grievances, complaining that the world will not devote itself to making you happy. I am of the opinion that my life belongs to the whole community, and as long as I live, it is my privilege to do whatever I can. I want to be thoughtfully used up when I die. For the harder I work, the more I live. I rejoice in life for its own sake. Life is no brief candle in me. It is a sort of splendid torch which I have got to hold up for the moment, and I want to make it burn as brightly as possible before handing it to the future generations. Thank you.